The real menace comes from those who would take Northern Ireland back. Dissident republic interests must not be allowed to dictate to the overwhelming majority of people right across this community. And there are those within Unionism who would put at risk the progress that has been made. The TUV peddle the dangerous and dishonest illusion that they have a better alternative. They want to use your vote in order to wreck the Assembly. They will even try to tell people that it's safe to vote for them as a protest at Sinn Féin in government, or even to get Sinn Féin out of government. But the reality is that a vote for the TUV is a vote to drag Northern Ireland back. While they pretend to be anti-Sinn Féin, the reality is that by dividing Unionism, they are playing into the hands of Republicans. The TUV is Sinn Féin's secret weapon for topping the poll. Gerry Adams could not succeed in this quest without the help of Jim Allister. Jim is Gerry's stooge. If Jim Allister had got his way in 2007, things would be very different today. There would be an Irish Language Act, because the government had pledged to introduce one, and only devolution stopped it. Separate and additional water charges would have already been introduced. The bills were ready to be sent out, and only devolution allowed them to be deferred. Higher rates would have been a reality. Under direct rule, rates had increased by an average of 10% in each of the previous 5 years, with a 19% increase in a single year. Those rates have now been frozen each year by the Northern Ireland Executive. A single Equality Act would have been passed. Drafting in a whole range of new and expanded so-called equality measures was underway and would have been passed by now under direct rule. There would have been a greater role for Dublin. The British government had pledged itself to a new partnership and intensified cooperation with the Republic, giving them more of a say in our affairs. Along with this, there would have been greater influence for Republicans, with the government, as history shows, always managing to give more concessions to Sinn Féin, whether the government was Conservative or Labour. Direct rule would have meant an end to academic selection. The legislation prohibiting it was only amended at our insistence prior to devolution. No devolution would have meant losing the potential for investment and jobs. We would have considerable investment in a country renowned for terrorism. No one would have come. As on every previous occasion, Unionists would have been isolated and marginalised. With no devolution, the United Kingdom government would have continued to ignore the wishes of the majority community here. And in addition, without devolution, there would be no Republican support for policing. Only the DUP's precondition for devolution made Sinn Féin move on this issue. I'm not prepared to allow Northern Ireland to go back to the bad old days. Life in Northern Ireland is unrecognisable from what it was a generation ago. No matter how difficult things may be, no one wants to go back to the way things used to be. No one pretends that things are perfect or that they are easy. Doing the right thing rarely is. At this election, I am asking people to vote DUP for Unionist unity, to vote DUP for strong, positive Unionist leadership, to vote DUP for the best long-term strategy for Northern Ireland, to vote DUP for the best deal at Westminster for Northern Ireland, and to vote DUP to keep Northern Ireland moving forward. This is not the time to change a winning formula. Northern Ireland is moving in the right direction again. We are not turning back. The people of Northern Ireland have given us the strength to come this far. On election day, we are asking for the mandate to keep Northern Ireland moving forward. We have the candidates with a proven track record, tried and tested. Over the last 5 years, Our MPs have been industrious and tireless representatives of our constituents, both in Northern Ireland and at Westminster. We have used every opportunity to make the case for the people of Northern Ireland. Over the next few weeks, we must take our case once again to the country, confident about what we have achieved, but not complacent about the challenges that we face. At election time, politicians mostly apply the campaign tactic of asking voters to vote against something, to vote against some policy, or to vote against some person. It works. There are a few successful politicians who haven't campaigned in that way. I confess, I've done it myself. But not this time. This time, I want the people of Northern Ireland to vote for something. I want you to vote to keep Northern Ireland moving forward. Where others offer fear, we offer hope. Where others seek to destroy, we seek to build. Where others seek to divide, we seek to unite. We've all been through election after election where the focus has been on the events of the past. This election is about Ulster's future. The choice is simple. There are those like the TUV who would destroy the hopes of a better future. There are those like the Ulster Unionist Party who would dither and miss the opportunity of creating a better future. And there are those here in the DUP who are in the business of delivering a better future. On election day, the people of Northern Ireland will get the future that they vote for. I call on them to come out and secure a brighter and better future. Let's keep Northern Ireland moving forward.